Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. I am Director of Marketing at Trade Ideas, Scott Olson. With me today is Brad Williams, a Managing Partner. And no, adding options was not an April Fool's joke. We did add options for you guys today. Everyone should have access to it who is a subscriber. Brad will touch on that during the session. The audience is muted for the meeting, but you can type any questions that come to mind in the questions panel, and we will try to address the questions as we come to them during the question and answer session, and we'll also encourage you to ask more questions then. I'm going to turn this over to Brad Williams. Brad?
Thank you, Scott. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. Let me get some of the legalese out of the way here. Our friendly disclaimer: we're not an investment advisory firm. We are a high-tech software development company that creates incredible financial trading software. So I'm going to take you on a tour of Trade Ideas very briefly today. I know that as I did that poll, most of you guys are subscribers. There are a few of you out there that aren't. So I'll kind of mix it up a little bit. I'll give you a general overview of the tool, tell you how it can really benefit you, but then I'll use this time today to really interact with you all, show you a little bit about the new options channel that's available, and a little bit of an April Fool's kind of snafu. Some of you guys do not have access to it just yet, and it should be coming either later today, early tomorrow, sometime very, very soon. But nevertheless, it'll give me an opportunity to show you what we've done, the new channel that we've put out there, and the filters, the options filters, and how to best use them. So I'll take a little bit of time to show you that. I'm also going to show you a little bit about our custom formulas. Now, I'm not going to go too deep here, but the real genesis is to show you that we do have a lot of other filters available other than what you may see as you're typing into the search box in the configure alerts or top list window. So using the custom formula feature, you can really mathematically manipulate some of the data points that we store. Not only the generic data points that you get from level 1 and level 2 in the market, but also some of the derived data points that we create from the standard market data. So that was the agenda. We're going to show the options channel, talk about some of the custom formulas, and we're going to interact. And so, like Scott was saying, go ahead and type in questions as I'm presenting, and Dan or Scott will get to those. But also, 20 minutes from now or so, I'm going to take some questions directly from the chat screen and get those answered for you as well. So, without further ado, what I have displayed right here is Trade Ideas Pro. It's our flagship alerting and scanning software. It's an incredible piece of software because it sits there and listens to every single tick of every stock in the market. It baselines, it stores every single behavior on all the different time frames, so we can tell at any given time what's incredible, what's happening in the market that you should be alerted to, where your eyes should be navigating to. We do price action, volume action. And so what I'm looking at right here are a variety of different windows. I have an alert window, which is looking at some post-market activity. I also have a multi-strategy window down at the bottom, which is looking at some post-market activity as well, along with our graphical visualization tool, our compare count window, which allows you to put in a variety of different strategies, 2 different strategies, and visually watch those move in real time. And you can find the bulls and the bears of the market. And then finally, I have our single stock window. The single stock window really gives you a detailed view of a particular stock using not only the generic market data that I was talking about, but some of our derived data points, like how much has that stock moved since January 1st, or where is it sitting in its 60-minute range. So without further ado, let me take you right to the channel bar here. And if everybody right-clicks on the channel bar in some of this white space that you have and you select refresh, you're going to get the most recent channel bar that we have. And it's been updated with an options channel right here. So if you select that, it's going to bring in 6 different windows that we put together utilizing the options data. Before I go into the different windows, let me just open up the configuration tool and really show you the different data points that we brought into it with respect to options. So I'm going to open up my search tool and I'm going to type in options, and now I can see these 6 different filters that we put in place here. And so you have the ability not only to filter on these data points, such as the put-call ratio, the total number of option contracts, option volume today, the total volume option contracts, this is your average. You can also specify your put volume today, your call volume today, or our best filter here, which is our options volume today on a percentage basis. So this is where we keep the standard baseline activity of all the options volume. We know it's normal, and utilizing this filter here allows us to draw our attention to the stocks that are trading inordinate options volume today. So those are the filters that we have, and I've used those filters to create these 6 different windows around the outside. So let's go right into them and dig into them and see what we have. So this upper left window is taking a look at our options volume. It's just really looking at unusual options volume, and it's that filter I was talking about. It's this filter over on the right-hand side right here, where it's taking a look at on a percentage basis, what's the option volume today. And so as I scroll down, even these stocks that are at the very bottom of the list are doing 3 times normal options volume. So 300%, 340%, all the way up here to 8,000%. So there's something going on with this stock, and when you incorporate it with our other filters, you can see that, in addition to having super high options volume today, it's trading 3.6 times normal stock volume. So it's really a high volume mover today. It's got a put-call ratio of 0.06, so that we know that the calls far exceed the puts. The total number of option volume contracts today were 156, and again, this is something that we can filter on. So if I wanted to go into this window and say I only want to see these stocks here that have unusual options volume but have traded, let's say, at least 500 contracts today, it's really simple to do that, and you can just right-click into the window, select Configure. Go into the window-specific filter, and let's go to the options volume. Well, let's go to options volume and say the contracts need to be at least 500. And so this way, we can now filter on this value, and now I only have a list of stocks that meet that filtered criteria, yet are still trading super high options volume. Some of our other data points change from the close and stuff. So this window right here, in addition to giving you the unusual options volume, I'm also saying that with this bar down at the bottom, it gives me an indication that of all the symbols that are in this list right here with high options volume, roughly 60% of those are negative for the day. And we can change the characteristic of this bar right here. Right now we have it set up to change from the close, but we could use any of the other filters that we have in the window to set up a particular metric for it. Let's scroll on down. Let's take a look at the next window below here. And so this is the largest percentage increase in stock volume with options data. So it's really taking a look at our volume data and ensuring that there is significant enough options volume today. So if we go into Configure, we can really dig into it. And probably the best way when you select Configure to really see how the window's set up is just go to the summary, because it tells you right here what we're looking for. The stock where the average volume is at least 100, but then if you go to the sort, you can see that we're sorting this on the volume today percentage. So if we look at this window, this depressed cell right here is the cell that we are sorting on, and grabbing the top 100 symbols that have the highest volume today on a percentage basis. So again, this isn't a stock that has super high volume like it always does, like maybe something like Apple. This is something that's doing super high volume just today compared to its normal type of volume. All right, so let's scroll down a little bit. Now these were both top list windows, and all these other windows that are surrounding it are top list windows, which is giving you a ranked list of stocks based on the filtered criteria that you have set in place, in addition to being able to color it in a variety of ways. But this window down in the bottom left is a little bit different, and it's a real simple window. Honestly, it's really just looking for stocks that are making new highs and lows that are doing it with unusual options volume at the same time. And so these stocks here at the time were making a new high or low, and you can see that the option volume is significantly higher than normal. And that is a filter that's in place for this strategy, for these strategies to work. So these are 2 different alert windows really blended into a single window, really to help you guys save real estate space. The screen is a real valuable commodity for the trader, and you're going to have charts, and you're going to have a variety of other tools at your disposal on your desktop. So this is a window that's really great because you can put in, you can put in 20 different strategies and just have the strategy appear when that criteria occurs in the market. So this next window in the upper right-hand corner is another top list window that's just taking a real basic look at options volume and giving me the stocks that are trading the most number of contracts. So that's what I'm looking at today right here. And then you can utilize our sorting to really drill around. So I have it sorted here on the volume contracts, but if I now want to go ahead and sort this on change from the close on a percentage basis, I can do that, and I've got the stocks with the biggest movement on top. Click again and I can get the reverse sort with the stocks with the biggest movement on the bottom. And any of these columns can be sorted in any of the filters that we have inside of the software. So let me just scroll down here and you can see all the different filters that are available. You know, every one of these can not only be used as a filter, but it can also be used as a data point in your display, not only to view it, but to filter on it and to sort it as well. And then we're looking at volume for the put and the call volume, so giving you another top list grid view of stocks that are trading the most puts today and stocks that are trading the most calls today. So this is our initial channel. Some of you guys won't have access to it, and I realized that as I was going through and setting up the next part of the presentation for the formula editor. I had to log into a different account to do so, and I'm going to do that here. And this is what many of you guys may see. Dynamically, though, as soon as we get this taken care of on our back end, it'll appear for you. So if you click on the options channel, and this is what you have, don't worry, it'll be taken care of very quickly. Okay, so I want to now bring in, talk a little bit about the custom filters. This is, I don't want to get too in the weeds here, but it's such an incredible part of the tool. Let me just open up a new browser, and I'm going to go to our website. This is pretty much facilitated from our website. You have to make sure that you're logged in. I am logged in the correct account. And then over on the right-hand side, you're going to see an option called Custom Formulas. Right now, I don't have any formulas set up in this particular account, so I can create them from scratch. What I want to do, though, is let's open up this link right here, this help link. I'm going to open up a new tab, and let's go to it and take a look. This right here is the instructions for how to use the formula editor. It really gives you the syntax needed to be able to manipulate the data points. It also has some links in here that allow you to really get all the variables that we can work with. So I'm going to open up this tab as well, just so that I have, and this is how I typically do it. When I'm creating custom formulas, I usually have these two documents open, and I've got my formula editor. And then I have to decide what do I want to do with it. So let's first of all, let's go here and take a look at some of the data points that I can bring in. So price, last, most recent close, seconds after open, day of the week, ton of these. So I'm not going to go through them all, but these are all some of the different variables. Well, what I want to do is I want to create I want to add some variables here to our custom filter so you can see the power of it. So let's go right to the formula editor, and I'm going to create a new one. And let's create the new one as U1. And I'm going to do about 10 of these. So, and I'll be pretty quick, but I promise you, as we get going, as we get into the latter stages of this, you're going to really have a good idea of how to do it. So let's create the new one. We're waiting and waiting. Okay, so right here, this gives me the whiteboard, if you will, to to create my formula. The first thing that I want to do is I want to add the bid size and the bid price, and also the ask size and the ask price to my filters, so that now I can see where the bid is or where the ask is when something triggers. So let's go ahead and start off, and the code for bid size is right here. If you scroll down, you can see bid size is right here. Here's the code, and all we're going to do is type in this code. In fact, I can even copy it and come over to the formula editor, paste it in here. So this is bid size, and we're going to call this bid size, and the units are shares. It's an integer, so we'll just select integer, and we're going to hit save. I'm going to scroll down, and you can see that it has the source code. There were no errors. This worked good. So I'm going to return to the list right now, and I have my first custom formula, or filter rather, entered in here. Let me do the next one, and then I'll show you how it works in the application. So let's set up U2. And this one we're going to do the bid price. So let's create a new one. And the bid price is really, if you go into our syntax here, it's just really typing in bid. And we're going to call this the bid. And the price is going to be $1. And we can have it just like this. I like to scroll down just to make sure that this occurred properly. And let's go back to the list, and you're going to see I have 2 in here now. So let's see what we can do with those inside of the window. And we can just use any of these windows right here. So this unusual options volume window, we're going to right-click in it. We're going to select Configure. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. And it's these descriptions that you're going to be searching on. So if I go to search and I type in bid, you're going to see these 2 filters that I just created. So let me just add them. I'm going to use the Shift key or Control key to select both, and then I'm going to go ahead and just show the column. Again, these can be filters too, so I could use that as a filter if I want, but we're just going to go ahead and add these as a column. And now let me go ahead and take off the text header. So again, I'm right-clicking, and we have this option that allows the icons that you see here and also text headers. So these are the icon, U1 and U2. If I select text headers, it's just going to give me the description. So that's what I want. So now I can see what the bid size is and what the bid price is for those particular stocks. So it's after hours, so you're not going to get full data here, but this is how we could add it. Now let's do it real quick. Let's just add the next two that we wanted to add. And this is going to be the ask size. Integer, and we'll hit save. And this one is just going to be ask. Nope, we need to go back to the list, select 4, just going to be ask, and price, and here we go. So now we've added that. So we've just added 4 new filters to the software that we can now manipulate or view. Let's go ahead and add them in here. So a lot of times people only want to put that right in here. You can move things around and manipulate it the way that you want. We also have a spread filter out of the box that you could add that's really just going to take the difference between the bid and the ask. So those are that. Some other filters that a lot of people like to add, let me go ahead and do that, would be the open and the close, because when you add those, you can do a lot of data with that. So if we just go to U5, and we're going to type in expected open. Again, this is just if this document is this variable is in this document right here. We can call it the open. It's a price, and we'll hit save. And with respect to the close, that is going to be most recent closed. So let's make the 6. This will be my last one of the basic ones, and then I'll show you how we can really get funky with it and manipulate it a little bit. Okay, and so let me add these in here as well. Did I do something wrong? All right, well, hold on. Something's not working there. Ah, it's because I got logged out. Have to be logged in to be able to get this information here. So now that's the close. Let's go ahead and show that column. So now we've got the closing price. And the last one we're going to add here is going to be the opening price. Oh, I didn't want to add the filter. That's where I could change and manipulate it. I just want to go ahead and show the column. And there we go. We've got the open, we've got the close, the bid, the ask, the bid size, and the ask size. So we've got all those here. And some of the other great things that you can do, you can bring in like today's high and today's low, the 52-week high and the 52-week low, and you can do those so that you can really create some good mathematical expressions. For instance, let's say you want the percentage distance from today's high. Well, you can use a custom formula to do that. If you wanted the percentage distance from the 52-week high, you could use a custom formula to do that. So I don't want to get too off into the weeds here, but there are some great formulas that you can do. I'm not going to code them all for you, but this is where our support will help you. And if you just send us an email describing what filter you want to add, we could add it for you. We can show you how to do it through a remote session. And I want to empower you guys to know that this feature is there so that if you want more from the tool, you can go ahead and use this to get that from it. So let me go ahead and close this here. I'm going to go ahead and do one thing. I'm going to log out of this account here, and I'm going to log into my other account just to give you an idea what an account with a lot of filters would look like in it, and it can get really sophisticated. So if you just don't look at the gobbledygook over on the left-hand side, but if you look at the description column here, this is where you can get an indication of, some of the incredible things that you can do over and above what we offer out of the box. I'm just going to scroll down so you can kind of peruse the different filters that I've created using this. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you can't go ahead and create a new SMA filter that's not available. For instance, if we're looking, our software looks at the 8 period, the 20 period, the 50 period, the 200 period. If you're looking for a 38 period exponential, this is not the tool that's going to accomplish that for you. So just keep that in mind. Now there's one other thing I wanted to show you guys before we go, because I've had a lot of people asking me this lately, and that's they want to go ahead and automate some of these signals with trade ideas. So once you first start out, you may not want to do this, but people that are very accustomed to using our tool get very confident in the type of signals that it generates. When you ask for a stock breaking above a resistance level, certain distance from a SMA, and yada, 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 different criteria, it's going to deliver that to you, and you know what that stock is going to look like when you pull it up on a chart. Well, we have an integration that we've done with one of our brokerage partners, Lightspeed Trading. And with the integration that we've done with Lightspeed, we added a new component to that particular tool. And the Trade Ideas for Lightspeed has this tool called Brokerage Plus, and it's really just a window that allows you to take any strategy that you create inside of Trade Ideas and automate it. So when that signal occurs, it'll go ahead and automatically buy or sell that security based on your parameters that you've coded into it, or informed the software what you want it to do. Maybe you don't want it to trade for the first 15 minutes. You want to put a protective stop of $1, a profit target of $2, and you let this thing run. And maybe you want to hold it for 45 minutes. And those are the type of parameters that you put into it, and you let this thing run itself in a full black box mode if you want, or it could also be used in a gray box mode where you have the tool initiate the position for you, but then utilizing your own trading skills allows you to manage it. And you can manage it through some of the smart execution buttons that we have here on the right, where you can very quickly liquidate the position or double the position or flip the position, just depending upon what's going on in the market. So I wanted to just highlight that and show you that this is an area that we're also working on with some of our other brokerage partners, but this is the group that was the first to get it. So I wanted to show that to everybody. So now what I'd like to do is I'd like to invite my partner Scott back to talk about a little bit of some of the specials that we offer during Webinar Wednesday. And it's just a good opportunity to showcase our technology, show what's new, and offer a little freebie for everybody.
Hey, thank you, Brad. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Today's special, we have a coupon code that gives anyone 30% off of an order total. So, for example, that brings our starter month that's normally $99 down to $69.30, our normal $75 down to $52.50 for the first month. The Advantage player to get started, only $165.20. It's normally $236, but that's one of our best subscription deals because it renews at $43 a month. It can also be applied to the odds maker, bring the total lifetime license down to $770. But if you want to go to the next slide, Brad, this is a deal that we're going to expire this Friday. We've been running it for, I think we've been running it since last November, and it's the best deal we've ever offered. It's been super popular, and which is why we're going to discontinue it. It's such a good deal. It's over 54% off. You get the entire year of Trade Ideas, which is $628, and the lifetime odds maker license combined for only $799. You spend more than that on coffee every day because it comes out to $218 a day. So if you buy 2 cups of coffee or a cup of tea or 2 a day, you could be paying for Trade Ideas for a year. We're going to kill this offer on Friday, so now's your chance to do it. Go to the link, go to the bit.ly link, bit.ly/QA-promo01. And that's the same as the coupon code for the day. Today's coupon code for the 30% off is QA-promo01. And that coupon code also expires on Friday. You will receive to the email address that you registered for the webinar the link to the $7.99 deal and the promo code and a link to a replay of the webinar if you missed anything in the beginning. I did see someone joined us late and had trouble hearing Brad. I'm assuming that's his connection, not ours, since everyone else seems to be able to hear us just fine. Again, if you want to flip to that earlier slide, Brad, it's QA promo 01, and the QA promo is all caps. That's for 30% off until Friday. And the bit.ly link for the $7.99 deal is bit.ly/QA-promo01. So I'd take advantage of that, especially if you already have Trade Ideas and want to jump on that $7.99 thing. You can do that and then switch. Just let us know at info@tradeideas.com so you're not double billed on your next renewal. Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. All right, we're going to take some questions here. If you guys have already thrown questions out there and they've been answered, I'm going to just take them fresh from here, so that if you guys have something that I didn't talk about or you want me to address something, fire away. Let me start here with Pete's question about a Mac. So right now you can utilize Trade Ideas Pro through a virtual machine on a Mac. You can use Parallels or VMware, but you can also utilize our beta version of our browser. Now, let me show you the one that we currently have available, and I'll give you a little teaser of what's coming out here very shortly as well. So let's just go to Trade Ideas, and I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to go to Trade Ideas for the web, and I'm going to select this Open Beta. Even before this beta became standard, we have a new one that we're going to show you, but this right here is about 80% of the functionality that's available inside of Trade Ideas Pro that you can get right through your browser. So these are free-floating windows inside of a browser environment, and the software can be configured in very much the same way. The same filters and alerts are available. The only thing that's not available in this particular version is the multi-strategy window. So you still have alerts and you have top lists and you have our visualization tool, but just don't have the multi-strategy window. So you can utilize this on the Mac, but what we're incredibly excited about is this new web version that's going to be coming out here very shortly, inclusive of the channel bar and really soup to nuts all the functionality that exists inside of Trade Ideas Pro in a browser done the right way, and this will probably be the best solution for you on the Mac if in fact you're not going to use one of the virtualization software tools. All right, so I hope that helped you out there. Hold on, I'm just reading. There's a lot of stuff here. I'm using another product that allows me to build custom filters and scan. It also alerts me based on various parameters that can be set. So I'm wondering if there's someone I can call or chat with. I mean, our support is second to none. So in addition to giving all of our new users a one-on-one training session, we're always available for any problems or help that you may have. We do custom strategy building. Send us an email with the text description of what you're looking to do, a cloud link if you've already started it, and we'll take it from there, utilizing our expertise with the alerts and filter combinations to create something for you. So Alberto, is it as fast data? I don't understand that question. Maybe if you want to clarify that a little bit more. I mean, everything that we do, primarily all the heavy lifting is done on our servers, whether it's the application, downloadable application, or our web client. These are all very thin, so you're not going to ever find a lot of CPU processing power being done on your computer. So with respect to your custom layout, you can load that on the Mac through the use of the Cloud Link. The one thing that you have to be cognizant of is that the multi-strategy window is not available in the web version of it. If you're using it in the virtual machine, absolutely the Cloud Link will be one-to-one comparison. With the new web version coming out here in a month or two, you'll be able to use any Cloud Link in TI Pro and have it emulate exactly inside of the browser what it looks like. So with respect to pre- and post-market data, that's something that we already do. If you're having a problem with one of your setups and you're not able to get something in pre- or post-market, certainly let us know. But we take a look at all post-market and pre-market activity. So if you're looking at the stocks, in fact, we have a channel here for pre-market that really takes a look at the morning activity as it pertains to stocks that are gapping, stocks that are moving on volume. So we're giving you a real-time alerting indication of something that's happening in addition to the top lists of stocks that are showing you that are gapping up or down. So right now we don't have EMA. We have found that there's so many different ways to look at moving averages. We wanted to really keep it simple and straightforward, and we feel that with the SMAs that we offer in the different time periods, you're able to really model the same types of strategies that you would be able to with EMA. We just thought that there would be just way too many filters inside of the software if we went for both. So Jimmy, we do have plans of incorporating an optimized channel. We really are just in the middle of a very large integration project, and while that's still really high in the top of our list, the integration took priority, and so as soon as that's done, we're going to finish a couple of our other projects, and one of those projects is charting. So that's something that's going to be coming very, very soon. What happened to my... So charting is going to be incorporated inside of Trade Ideas Pro. Charting is going to be really nice because when a signal is generated inside of an alert window, it's going to be superimposed inside of the chart. So you're going to know, even if you look back on it an hour later, you're going to know exactly what candle was the candle that triggered that particular event. So there's going to be some great interactivity between the charting and the alerting and top list windows inside of Trade Ideas. So as soon as we're done with our integration project, the charting and the optimization are two of our big focuses. So when you're talking about creating a custom strategy from scratch, I mean, if you give us the parameters and we can do this inside of Trade Ideas Pro, we don't charge anything for that. If it's something that cannot be configured inside of Trade Ideas Pro because you're looking for an exponential moving average and you're looking for something else that we may not have, it's something that we can do with another application that we have, and we can create a custom window for you. It's outside of TI Pro. It's a completely different tool that we utilize for that. But the pricing is not black and white. It really depends on the sophistication and the number of strategies that you're looking for. So please reach out to me. My email is brad@trade-ideas.com, or send it to info@trade-ideas.com, and we can give you a quote on what something like that would cost to build if we had to build it, or we could possibly just put it together in a cloud link for you inside of Trade Ideas Pro and email it right back out to you. That's one of the great things about collaboration inside of Trade Ideas Pro. We have a couple different methods. We have the Collaborate feature, which was the first sharing tool that we came out with that allowed people to share their strategies in social media, but also through IM and through email. But what I think is better than Collaborate, it came out a little bit more recently, it's our Save to the Cloud. And if you can take any window or group of windows. So let's say I wanted to take these two top windows right here. I could save these to the cloud. So I'm going to click on one. I have the up gapper selected, and now I have the down gapper. So now I have these two windows here that I can save to the cloud. Once I do that, I have a link here that I could instant message to anybody, and you'd be able to pull that in. So if I copy this here, I'm going to delete these guys, and I'm going to pretend like it's not my cloud, it's someone else's cloud, and I'm going to paste that link right down here at the bottom and select load. These are the two windows that come back, and so it's exactly as I created them. The same sort order, same filter combinations, color, everything is the same. So this is the preferred way to share a strategy, and you could share it with us in support and say, this is what I put together, but it's not doing what I want it to, and we can go ahead and open it up, find the problem, shoot it back to you. Or, like I said, if you just want to send us a description of what you're trying to accomplish, we can put the appropriate alerts and filters together for that.
Hey, Brad, can you put the link for the web beta in the chat again? Some people were asking for it.
You bet. So I put it in the chat. Everybody should be able to click on that. But just know this is our short-term beta. It'll be replaced with the one that I showed you here very shortly. So it's going to have that channel bar and a few other exciting new features. So with Tom, so your question is, can you run a linear regression off of a pivot point and a weekly standard deviation? Well, not the weekly standard deviation, but we do have pivot points, and we have R1, R2, S1, and S2 along with the pivot, and so you can set the filter for that, and then utilize any of our alerts. And we do have a linear regression alert, but any of the alerts that we have, it's really the combination of the two that would make the strategy. So let me open up an alert window here. So if I type in pivot, these are the different pivots that we have, and you have the ability to set a value. Say you want to make sure that it's above R1 pivot, but maybe it's below R2, and it's doing a certain activity. And so we have these different linear regression alerts, and you can have this alert only trigger when it's near one of those pivot points. And we also have standard deviation as well as a filter, and so you can go ahead and set that up as a filter and incorporating it with the alert as well. So Ashraf, yes, you can delete strategies under the recent settings. So I think so everybody knows what he's talking about. In our alert window config and in our top list config, we've got this folder right here. And this folder has your recent settings. Now, the caveat here is that this was really designed as kind of a backup safety net. This really wasn't designed as your folder to keep the strategies that you want to use. That's really meant for the cloud. But if something happens and you made a configuration or you deleted a window and you want to get it back, this is the way to do that. But if you want to delete some of them or you want to modify this particular list, you do it through our web page. And let's do that. Let's go to Trade Ideas. Let's go to Support. I hope I can find it here. Recent alert windows. So this is where you have the recent alert windows, and you can go ahead and you can delete them here. It will mimic what's in the, this is just connecting to our server from a web page, and our application connects to the server from the application. So these two definitely talk to each other. So, Alberto, you have a question on linking IB to trade ideas. So there's a little bit of a nuance to get that to work. You have to do it in, I want to say you have to do it in classic mode. Most people are using the mosaic mode, and classic mode is the only mode that will work with respect to linking. Now, on our support forum, we had a user that used auto hotkey. Now, I'm not an expert with that, but if you go to our support forum and you search for interactive brokers, there's a thread that will come up with auto hotkey. So some people use different tools, but Yes, it'll definitely work and link with trade ideas using the classic mode. Another trick a lot of people, when they're not able to get it to link initially, is to run trade ideas as an administrator when launching it. I don't know why that works for some people in some applications, but we've had some success with that as well. So, Tom, no, we cannot perform the scan for options liquidity like you talked about here because we're only keeping the root equity spread. So if you want to look for a root equity spread of, say, 15 cents, we can do that. But we don't keep all of the various options to be able to determine what the spread is for any particular strike. So Alexander, I don't have a date for the optimized channel, but I'm hoping in the next couple months that we'll have the bandwidth in our development team to be able to focus on that. We've already made some great strides in designing what we wanted to do. It's really about now putting the computing power behind it to accomplish that. But like I said, as soon as we're done with our other integration project, we'll be able to tackle that along with the completion of our charting, both of which are more than 60 to 70% complete at this point. So it's really just that final mile. So guys, we're winding down here. Let me know if maybe if I didn't get to your question, fire it off again. But it looks like the flow of questions has started to subside a little bit. So Ashraf, with respect to your question on taking the top 5 performers and running the same strategy, not yielding the same results, do me a favor, shoot me an email and send me a cloud link. I need, when we do support like this, it's really helpful to really have us looking exactly what you're looking at. And that's the best way to do that is through the use of the cloud link. And that'll really allow us to figure out what's going on. All right, Debbie, let me scroll up and see what we missed from you. Hold on. Well, I don't see him, Debbie. Would you mind re-chatting him in there so that I can find him? So PP, you need an overview of TI. I don't know that this is going to be the best time and place, but I'll tell you what. If you want to give me shoot me an email. I'll take 10, 15 minutes and I'll walk you through the tool.
Hey, I found some of Debbie's questions from earlier. I'm not sure which ones. I can go ahead and read them to you, though, if you'd like.
Okay, actually, she just popped one in here. So
okay.
It'd be great if you could give some idea of the VPS of the spread between the bid and the ask. That would be a great idea, Debbie. But right now, we just brought back the original option filters that we had a year ago. Since we had this this new agreement with the CBOE, we are definitely in a position now to really take a deeper look at the options data and see what we can take trade ideas technology and apply it to it. So we're really excited about that. And even though we're just starting off with 6 filters as it pertains to options right now, we really do look at enhancing that along the way as well. All right, so how can you get the single stock window to populate? By clicking something you see in another window. All right, so let me show you here. I mean, this is why we do these QA sessions, because this is the type of question that's just perfect for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this. Let me just have one single stock window, this guy right here. And I'm going to right-click in this window. When I right-click in this window, there's an option here that says Use Symbol Linking. So if I have this unchecked, like it is right now, and I click on a symbol, all it's going to do is it's going to update my chart, which you guys don't have yet, but hope be patient. So now if I do this and I right-click and I say Use Symbol Linking, now I could go ahead and just click here and pull it up. Now another little trick that some people don't know is, let's say I don't have a single stock window open, but I just got my layout looking like this. and I want to take a deeper look, and I want to dive into DYX here and see what's going on. I can right-click, send DYX to single stock window, and now it opens up. And again, this is fully configurable, just like all of our other windows. I can define which filters I want to have visible here in the column display, both the left and the right. So I can really customize it the way that I want it. But now I can drill into it, and I can see exactly what I want to see. I can go to the profile and get an idea of what this company does, see what sector, subsector, industry, sub-industry group they're in. My eyes are always drawn here to this relative volume data point here. It's one of my favorite filters inside of Trade Ideas. So it lets me know that this stock is traded 24 times normal volume today. I mean, volume is a huge catalyst for stock movement, and this filter right here allows you not only to see the type of volume that's happening, but when you use it as a filter, and you only say want to look at stocks making new highs above yesterday's high, but happening say on 3 times volume, well, you're going to find stocks that have a lot of movement and a lot of staying power to continue that movement. So one of my favorite filters, that's why we put it up on the top right here. But you can add any of the filters that we have inside of here, and I can see that this stock here is going to have earnings 20 days from now or 19 days from now, and I can see that the stock to its average activity, it typically mentioned 17 times on average each day in social media, but today not only did it do huge stock volume, but it was being talked about 4,000 times normal. So that's the kind of detail that you can get with a single stock. I probably answered your question and then some, so I apologize. All right. Well, everybody, I thank you very much. Ongoing support. If you have any questions, if I didn't get to something and you had a question, it's okay. Just reach out to me, Brad at trade-ideas.com, or like I said, info at trade-ideas.com. Someone will get back to you and make sure that your questions are answered. So thank you very much. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday.
You could probably throw up that last slide with the contact information to leave up for a minute before we finally close it out. I want to thank everybody for showing up today. We usually do not make recordings of the weekly webinars available. Usually we reserve that for the Trade of the Week webinars and other webinars with guests. But since Brad covered the formula editor and I saw some people make notes about coming in late, I'll make an exception today and put this one up on the web. You guys should get it in your inbox in about 2 or 3 hours. Again, thanks everyone. The last slide at the very end of the slideshow has our contact information. Next one again. So you can follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook. If you want just to be notified of any new things even before they hit your email inbox. Yeah, thanks everyone for showing up. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Have a good night.